A good twist needs two things to work. Obviously, whatever shock is being played needs to be something genuinely surprising, but just as important is the notion of a twist being entirely unexpected. And let me ask you, what is more unexpected than dropping a second twist immediately after the first when everyone already has their guard down? Well, with that in mind, I'm Josh from Whatculture.com, and these are 8 seriously smart movies that trick you by having 2 twists. Number 8, Leonardo DiCaprio's insane, or is he? Shutter Island. After finally bagging his Oscar with The Departed, Martin Scorsese chose to do something a little different for his next film, though not too different because it still starred his then key creative partner, Leonardo DiCaprio. This time around, though, the pair teamed on a horror mystery about a detective investigating an island asylum in the 1950s, and of course, not everything is as it seems. There's a lot of uncertainty about the true nature of the asylum and the investigation, and at the end we learn that Leonardo DiCaprio's character Teddy was right to be suspicious. See, when he arrives at the lighthouse, that being the key to everything going on at the hospital, he's told by Ben Kingsley's Dr. Cawley that he, in fact, is an inmate, with everything we've seen so far just being a role play in an attempt to shake his belief that he's actually a cop investigating the island and finally address his dark past. Sadly, it doesn't seem to work, leaving the doctors with little choice of what to do with Teddy. But then the final scene puts everything we've just been told into doubt. See, Teddy says to his doctor, quote, "Which would be worse, to live as a monster or to die as a good man?" before then walking off to be lobotomized. Now this is a shock for even those who read the book, as the line was written specifically for the movie, as despite appearing to have regressed back into his delusion, the trick did in fact work and Teddy is fully aware of what he's done, but is feeling so guilty for his past crimes that he's overwhelmed by a desire to atone for his sins. What a movie. Number 7, Everyone's a Ghost. Everyone. The Others. The Others is a petrifying ghost chiller, yet you won't lose a second of sleep over it thanks to an emotive twist that deftly releases the tension in a fitting, satisfying way. Now, you actually know there's going to be some big reveal here thanks to the sheer amount of mysteries built up. The premise being that Nicole Kidman's family is being haunted just as a new trio of servants arrive, although the director avoids making it guessable by having 2. Now the movie first deals with the new help, who have gradually been shown to know much more than they let on. And unraveling a trio of tombstones, it's revealed that they're actually ghosts who died in the 1800s. But even then, not everything adds up. There's been other mysterious goings on in the house, and eventually Nicole Kidman's Grace must confront them. It's only then that the family learn that they too are ghosts, and that the noises heard around the house are the new real-world inhabitants trying to deal with their haunting problem. So they hold a seance and learn that Grace killed her children in grief over her husband before shooting herself, prompting the now-aware family to their house. 6. This is not a canon event. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is a movie chock full of twists and reveals that not only provide new layers to the characters we know and love, but also recontextualize a whole bunch of things that happened in the first flick. After embarking on a multiversal journey spearheaded by the mysterious and brooding Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099, hero Miles is given some world-shattering home truths. First, this comes in the form of canon events, that being the idea that while all spider people across the multiverse have their differences, all of them must encounter certain things in their lives that define them as this character. And one of them is the death of a beloved police captain. We're told that breaking these canon events could destroy the entire multiverse, which sucks for Miles, as his currently still living father has just become police captain and now is in danger. Even worse, Miles is then told by an enraged Miguel that he's nothing but an anomaly, that a universe now exists without a Spider-Man because the radioactive spider from that universe ended up biting Miles in his, accidentally bestowing his dimension with a second Spider-Man. Now that's already a lot to take in, so Miles sets off to avert his fate, return to his own dimension, and save his father. He escapes the thousands of superheroes on his tail and then seemingly makes it back home just in time, only for one final cliffhanger twist to reveal that he isn't actually in his New York. Instead, he's accidentally arrived in the dimension his spider came from, the one without a Spider-Man to protect it. Look, I know the cliffhanger ending of Spider-Verse was a little bit divisive, but I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you want to see from the next movie? And do you think they should double down on the twists they've revealed here? I know, I certainly think they should. Man, that sequel's gonna be amazing. Number 5, they really made a monkey out of him. Planet of the Apes. The twist at the end of Planet of the Apes is so well known that it's taken as essential pre-knowledge for the rest of the franchise, and that's saying nothing of the DVD covers. But that also ignores the rest of the movie, which looks at the societal implications of the idea of ape society. There's a distinct class structure built around race, an obsession with religion, and deep secrets about the apes' true history. Of course, the first big twist in the movie is that hidden in the Forbidden Zone is an archaeological dig site with artifacts from an old Homo sapien society, including a human doll that can talk. So it turns out that man once was the dominant species on this strange planet, but by its own folly destroyed itself. And for cynic Taylor, this is almost enough to damn all of humanity to hell. Well, almost. Because of course, as after decrying all apes from chimpanzee to chimpanzee, Taylor heads off deeper into the Forbidden Zone to discover that this isn't just a planet like Earth, it is Earth. The Statue of Liberty sticking out the sand is one of the most enduring sci-fi images to date, and one of the film's biggest divergences from the book, where the hero really does leave to explore a totally different world. Number 4, 2 equally bonkers magic tricks, The Prestige. Told in flashbacks within flashbacks, The Prestige is already a pretty twisty film. There's alternate identities, moral uncertainty, and some good old-fashioned double footing, but the real meat lies in how the central pair do their respective transporting man tricks. On the one side, you have Christian Bale's Borden, a craftsman, while on the other you have Hugh Jackman's Angier, an egotistical showman. And after 2 hours of teasing, we finally learn how Borden did his trick. As Michael Caine was saying all along, he just used a double. More specifically, Borden and assistant Fallon are actually identical twins, devoting themselves to the act for all of their life, no matter the cost, be it lost love or amputated fingers. The big hit is that to avoid any ego issues, they took turns in this life, both in real life and in the trick. And that's because for them it was all about the art. The secret to Angier's transporting man, aka the second twist, isn't so elegant. See, Nikola Tesla developed a teleportation device, but with a glitch. Instead of teleporting someone, it created a copy of them, meaning that to do the trick right, Angier had to kill a version of himself every night. So for all intents and purposes, the original Angier is dead, and we just keep getting doubles every single time he does this trick. Number 3, like the original, just a little bit more intense, Saw 2. The first Saw movie became a cult hit for 2 reasons. One, its unflinching gore and twisty plot, which culminated in a head-exploding final villain reveal. And so naturally, a sequel upped the ante on both. The traps were more frequent and sadistic, and they played into an incredibly convoluted scheme, with Jigsaw forcing Donnie Wahlberg's character to watch his son navigate a house of horrors with a host of convicts that he locked away. Like all Saw movies, the reveals come thick, fast, and edited in a hugely over-the-top way. First up comes the reveal that everything going on in the house has actually already happened and is being played back on a video loop, with Wahlberg's son not only already safe, but in the room with him and Jigsaw all along, locked in a safe and on life support. However, by the time this is revealed, Wahlberg's character has already run off, despite Jigsaw telling him that everything would be fine if he just sits down and talks to him for the duration of the game. But unfortunately for him, he's run off to his own trap because it turns out in the second twist, one of the people in the house was Amanda, a rare Jigsaw survivor from the original movie who was brought back for more. Except this time she's actually secretly playing on the other side, acting as an on-the-ground disciple of Jigsaw to make sure everything goes to plan. And all this is revealed as she locks Wahlberg in the iconic bathroom from that first movie. Number 2, Jason's not the killer. Yet, Friday the 13th. It's certainly not as great as its legacy suggests in my opinion, but the original Friday the 13th is still a classic for a reason. And in a piece of trivia initially so lost it became Wes Craven's opening gambit for Scream, the killer is eventually revealed to be Pamela Voorhees, the mother of a boy who drowned in Crystal Lake, while the camp counselors did everything you'd expect of horror movie victims, and she's back to stop the damned place reopening. It's a great twist, and even now, new viewers are probably surprised to learn that it's not Jason behind the slashings. But it doesn't end there, because this is an 80s horror movie and you need to have a final jump scare to keep the audience on edge. So when final girl Alice escapes finally onto the lake, up pops a zombified Jason to pull her under. In a further kicker, when she tells the story to the doctors, they say they never found the boy, meaning he's still there, apparently. It's a bit confused, rushing through setting up and then denying the boy's survival in record time, but the franchise's lasting impact is testament to its effect. Number 1, Katon Soze, then he's not the usual suspects. The film that marked a resurgence of the twist as a major storytelling device in the mid-90s, The Usual Suspects is a crime thriller made legendary by its final realigning 5 minutes, although you need the full hour and 45 to get the full effect of Christopher McQuarrie's script. The whole thing is told in flashback by the character Verbal Kint to a detective in the hour leading up to his bail being posted, allowing for a double twist that future-proofs the entire thing. Because if you vaguely know there's a twist, the first is so seismic that you accept it before then having the rug pulled under you again. As the retelling comes to a close, the agent springs his assessment of the situation on Verbal Kint. He surmises that Gabriel Burns Keaton was the villainous ringleader Kaiser Soze, bringing together desperate thieves to act as patsies in an attempt to silence a former enemy. It's an airtight assessment as well, fitting both the story that Verbal's told and the present events outside the office where the interview's taking place. So convincing, in fact, that even Byrne himself believed it before seeing the theatrical cut. So at this point we assume the film's over, but then Verbal leaves and we get a meticulously edited montage as the FBI agent realizes that everything he's been told was an elaborate ruse by Kint, who is actually the real Kaiser Soze. It's one of the all-time greats, but works most effectively because everyone's already gone with the Keaton misdirect that they're not expecting to be slapped over the other side of the face with this second twist.